All right, y'all, it's happening. I keep telling you it's happening, but the evidence keeps pouring in that it indeed is happening. Now, one of the things I've been saying is there has been a mass liberal awakening in this country where you used to have the left-wingers, you know, the Bernie bros, and they were at odds with the liberals, the resistance liberals, who were more Hillary Clinton-pilled, right? And there was like a civil war inside the Democratic Party where it's like, who's going to win out here? Well, now, over time, what we've witnessed is, because of Trump getting in office again, because of the resistance liberal politicians failing to do even basic resistance against Trump, enabling Trump, people like Chuck Schumer, for example, Alyssa Slotkin, Hakeem Jeffries, those same resistance liberals who in the past hated the Bernie bros, hated Bernie, thought he was maybe sexist, right? Thought he was maybe racist. Those people are looking around and they're going, well, hold on now. The only people I see actually fighting back against Trump and actually offering something different, it's Bernie, it's AOC. It's the left flank of the party that I used to be angry about all the time and act like they weren't loyal Democrat soldiers enough. Now they're looking going, they look like the most loyal Democratic soldiers. And it's the centrists, it's the corporatists, it's the Chuck Schumers of the world who are failing everybody by not knowing how to fight and not standing for anything, right? So the liberals are waking up and they're becoming leftists. Okay, now, we've already covered a poll where Kamala was number one in the poll, I believe, but then right behind Kamala in a solid number two position, and by a kind of a wide margin too, it was AOC. So AOC went from Nowheresville to second place in the 2028 Democratic primary polls. That's crazy. Now, by the way, for a brief moment, you had Cory Booker surged. Why? He did the 25-hour speech on the floor of the Senate. And it was a gesture where people thought, oh, thankfully, somebody's fighting. This is great. But he immediately undid all that hard work because he voted for like a bunch of Trump's cabinet picks after that. He voted for Charles Kushner, who's the dad of Jared Kushner, who's a corrupt goon. He was the only Democrat to vote for it. So he blew it too, just like Gavin Newsom blew it by snuggling up to the right. A lot of these people in this era have blown it massively, right? Well, now we have a new poll. AOC seen as face of the Democratic Party, and it's not even close. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is seen as the face of the Democratic Party, according to new polling. In a coefficient survey conducted from May 7th to May 9th among 1,462 likely voters, 26% identified AOC as the face of the Democratic Party. Another 26% said there is no one currently leading the party, while 22% chose other. Ocasio-Cortez was far ahead of other listed Democrats. Coming in a distant second was close ally Senator Bernie Sanders. The pair recently went to various states with their Fighting Oligarchy tour. Representative Jasmine Crockett placed third in the survey with 8%. So I believe it was AOC 26%, Bernie 11%, which you could basically put those two together because they represent the same thing. So 37% for the left-wing vision. And then Jasmine Crockett, who she might not be as left-wing when it comes to policy as AOC and Bernie, but the way she fights, that codes as she's super left-wing. I have issues. She's taken some crypto money, questions on that, question on her position vis-a-vis Israel. So I'm not perfectly in alignment with Jasmine Crockett. But when she fights the right, that sort of fight, I'm not backing down. I'm going to come after you aggressively. I'm not going to give an inch. That codes as super left-wing. So in a way, you could say, you could almost add her number to the AOC and Bernie number to show that people want fighters and they want left-wingers, right? And so you're looking at what? You're almost at half. You're at 46, 45%, whatever it is. If you put all those numbers together, that's a big deal, bro. That's a big deal. Former Vice President Kamala Harris came in fourth with 6%. Following her was Pete Buttigieg with 5%. I'm surprised he's that low, to be honest. I'm surprised he's down to 5%. Hakeem Jeffries, 5%. Cory Booker, 4%. And Gavin Newsom, 2%. Man, he imploded. He was viewed as the front runner. He was viewed as like the number one guy for sure, the guy to beat in the primary. Now he's down there at 2%. Quote, currently there's no consensus on the face of the Democrat Party, as a majority of voters either give the title to AOC or simply say there is none. Coefficient concluded the survey has a margin of 3.27 percentage points. The poll is only the latest sign of Ocasio-Cortez's rise in her party amid President Donald Trump's second term in the White House. In an April survey by Yale University, Ocasio-Cortez came in a close second to Harris as Democrats' top choice for a 2028 candidate. Harris scored approximately 28% support, while Ocasio-Cortez drew 21%. The liberal firm Data for Progress also released numbers in April showing that 55% of Democratic voters in New York would back AOC if she challenged Chuck Schumer in a primary. We are witnessing a meteoric rise right now, y'all. We are witnessing a meteoric rise right now. And the reason why this gives me a lot of hope is because it truly is the first time in my lifetime that you get the sense that the Democratic base is going, any Democratic politician they see, they're going, you need to be further left and you need to fight Trump harder. Those are the two things that they're like, you got to do these things. You got to fight Trump harder. You got to go further left. They are yearning for our own version of the Tea Party, right? Our own Trump revolution. Trump hostily took over the Republican Party. They are waiting for somebody to do the same with the Democrats, to kick out all the professional losers, to change the vision, to have a core mission, right? What's the core mission of the right? Blame the immigrants, blame trans people, give more money to the wealthy, and warmonger. That's the core mission of the right. The core mission of the left has to be end the corruption. The billionaires are the problem. End the warmongering. Right? Bring back the Constitution. No more ignoring due process like the Trump regime is doing. We have to have those competing visions. And for the first time in my life, I feel like the Democratic base is so fucking ready. And there's so many signs that they're all about this shit, bro. If you're picking AOC, Bernie, and Jasmine Crockett as the top three for, these people represent the Democratic Party, that is so different from back in the day where it was like, I don't know, John Kerry is the face of the Democratic Party. Hillary Clinton is the face of the... It's so different. It's so different. So, we'll see. I'm curious to see how many Democratic politicians are clever enough to adjust to the new reality. Well, I'm shocked Gavin Newsom hasn't figured it out by this point. There's a lot... Like, I think, like, Pete is going to figure it out and know how to position himself because he's relatively intelligent with how he maneuvers. But beware, right? Beware, because... you can find out who the real deal is in a number of different ways, but very important is their policy record. Very important is what they were saying when the chips were down. Like that's it. So you saw Gavin Newsom showed his true character when he immediately was like, let me go snuggle up to Charlie Kirk and sloppy Steve Bannon on my podcast and let them walk all over me. That showed what he's about, right? And so some people let you down in this moment. Some people will not. It'll be the opposite and they'll give you some hope, but this is a very, very hopeful thing, and I love that as days go by, your average Democrat starts sounding more and more like you and me, and that can lead to some good positive change in the future, assuming we have free and fair elections. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.